broadly, there's AIDA. If you haven't had the history, kind of 20 years in the business, kind of, 10 plus years with a product, and it's been, publicly available for 7 years. So we've been going around a lot. That's the problem we solve. Basically, issues with overload of data and documentation. This is our kind of positioning statement, if you like. So the core of what we do, the core is around OCR, data extraction. But over the years, we've added various modules to that piece. And obviously, the piece that we're focusing on today is one of those modules, which is AIDA Pay, you'll see there. Bit of a spoiler alert, by the way, we're going to be talking a lot more about AIDA GPT, agentic AI, and how that applies to the use of AIDA and document management in general. There might be a webinar coming up in the next month or two about the latest release of our AIDA GPT solution. Anyway, but let's get on to AIDA Pay. So what is it? Effectively, it enables you as AIDA users to create a payment gateway out of your invoices. So what it enables is effectively allowing you to add a QR code to an invoice and to allow direct payment, streamlined, efficient, secure, all of that good stuff through that invoice directly. And it enables you to monitor those payments. So it's more of an accounts receivable solution. It's probably, in terms of positioning, it's probably more of a B2C solution. That's what we're seeing at the moment. It also enables you to manage related communications and to monitor your payments as well. So we'll see some dashboard elements as well, and task management. So as I say, probably more of a B2C solution. We do support multiple payment methods, so we direct bank transfers as well as direct debits. But where we've seen it used so far is more. So I've given a couple of examples here: clinics and schools. I'll go through one case study in a second. And the key benefits, really, it's productivity. So your finance team are spending less time sending out invoices, chasing reminders, monitoring the money coming in. It's improved cash flow because we make it super easy for the people who owe you money to pay. We don't think there's a payment method that we don't support. So it's whatever's easiest for your clients, chances are we'll support that payment method, making it easier to pay, which means should mean, or does mean, improved cash flow. And that the payments go directly into your current bank account. So it's a seamless add-on to your financial infrastructure. Again, a bit of a spoiler in terms, well, not too much of a spoiler, hopefully, but in terms of what's coming. So this is, as it is at the moment, it's more accounts receivable. So it's you sending out invoices and getting the money paid as quickly and efficiently as possible. In the future, I'm not sure if people are aware of PSD2 regulations, but that will enable us to connect directly with effectively clients' bank accounts and bank statements, which will enable accounts payable part of the solution, which enables direct reconciliation. So we do have solutions for reconciliation currently. So some of you might be familiar with AIDA Match. That is what that enables. But with PSD2, it will enable us to do that directly directly with clients' bank accounts. So where have we got to? So this is one such case study, just to give you a feel of the kind of problem that we're solving. So this is a school of digital art, Event Horizon. So they have students, so business students, who are paying them school fees effectively on a monthly basis. And they were spending a lot of time sending out invoices, sending reminders. Students typically, need a bit of chasing, and that was taking, as we said, kind of not helping the productivity of their finance team, and also not helping their cash flow. So the solution was AIDA Pay, which we'll talk about in a bit, and automating a lot of all that kind of accounts receivable process. So you'll see the flow, the old workflow that was in place where invoices were being sent out and all the chasing. That's moved to that bottom workflow you can see on the screen, where AIDA is automatically sending invoices, sending the reminders, processing the payments, creating tasks for failed payments, so that these guys are focusing just on failed and delayed payments rather than the happy flow of invoices being paid. So those are some of the benefits which, yeah, for any people with any kind of experience of financial departments, heads of finance, like these kind of the benefits. So that's it. Yeah, let's get on with the demo, shall we? Yeah, I mean, I do encourage questions as we go, so maybe write in the chat if you've got any questions, or put a hand up. I'm sure one of the Selectec team can field the questions as we go. Brilliant.
Keeping an eye on that. I'm sure some people coming in and bouncing out and stuff. As you know, I can't multitask, so I'm trying to look at that and look at that. And yeah, all right, I'm on it. I'm here. I'm pro.
Good man. Good man. But yeah, well, I'm trying to allow for a little bit of time at the end for some Q&A. So yeah, feel free.
Yeah, so there will be some.
Put your questions in the chat, and we'll try and get to them afterwards. Anyway, so the first thing to do, well, the very first thing to do, if you haven't already signed up with AIDA, is to come to our homepage, aidacloud.com, and click on enter and register. If you're already registered, that will take you into the product, and where you need to go for AIDA Pay is configuration and AIDA Pay, and then you need to set up AIDA Pay by clicking on this link. It is there is a process. Obviously, it's extremely secure solution, so they're the usual kind of checks and balances that we do to get you all set up. One thing that I didn't mention on the intro is that we use Stripe as the payment processor, so we don't handle any of the cash which is flowing between parties. That's all done by Stripe. Yeah, there are two options with Express or Standard. Probably easiest to go for Express to get started, and then that process starts the AIDA Pay wizard, which, as I say, probably 15-20 minutes, that kind of time. But it's obviously, yeah, a secure solution, so we're asking all the questions that we need to with that in mind. So I'll now come into an account which has AIDA Pay enabled on it. So I have got one payment type, so one document type which is AIDA Pay enabled. So once you've set up your account with AIDA Pay, you'll then need to create a document type with AIDA Pay. So that can be done in this view. So for those of you that are familiar a little bit with AIDA, you'll see that this is the document type view, where you can configure a particular document type. You can see for this particular document type, there's a bunch of different properties that I've configured. You'll see also, so by default, once you assign a document type as AIDA Pay, it will create these two additional properties. So payments and debtor's email. What I've also done here is create a rule for the expected payment date, which is effectively based on a derived date. So you have the date of the invoice. I've chosen the format as a derived date. I've added plus 30 days. What you'll see how that is used later when we're looking at tasks, but then that is basically by when I'm expecting the payment to be made. If it's not made by then, you'll see an alert in the task view. So that's the document type that I've set up. You'll see here, so again, Yeah, so you'll see the notice at the top here. I'm just using test data with a sandbox test account. So as I say, we support multiple, pretty much all payment types. For this account, it's limited just because I'm in a sandbox account. But you'll see here, these are the different document types that I've got created, and you'll see, so for this one, this is where you can activate AIDA Pay on a particular document type. And if I open that one up, these are the properties that I am using. So for example, you don't have to do this, but particularly if you're automating the payments regarding, so you set up a direct debit, you'll need some of these, and you'll see here that property that I created, expected payment date, is the property that AIDA Pay is going to use for the expected payment date. So let's have a quick look. So I've already got some documents which I have, some invoices which I have validated, some of which I've also paid. So we'll see what that looks like first. And then we'll go through the process of uploading the documents, enabling it with AIDA Pay, and paying it as well. But just so you can see what it looks like, this is the archive. So you can see here there are 4 documents, 3 of which have been paid. Again, as a bit of a refresher, you can have a different view here. So once you choose the document type, I could also see add these columns, so I can see the total, see the expected payment dates. And then if I come into tasks here, what I should see is a tab for AIDA Pay, and that one invoice which was not paid, it should be in here, right? So I'm still awaiting that to be paid. It's still got 20 days, and I have options here. I can send her an email. I can copy the link and send that potentially. So we've got that as a pending payment. We'll then look at the dashboard. So with AIDA Pay, you also have a out-of-the-box widget in your dashboard. So you can see here, for example, the total revenue that I've collected last 30 days. Separately to that, within the dashboard, you can create graphs based on a document type. So I've done that also for that document type. So I've got that. And then if I click on open the dashboard, that opens the dashboard within Stripe, where I get more detail in terms of those payments. So we'll come back to that in a minute, but let's have a go at uploading a document. Bear with me. So I should have an invoice here. Let's try this one. We'll add it to the AIDA Pay document type. Damien loves to see the running man. So there he is. Or they are doing a bit of running as that document is processed.
Whilst the running man is doing its thing, do like the running man. If you guys have never seen how you set up AIDA to generate the fields and the data and stuff and get through that whole running man process, there's a few videos now kicking around on the Selectec LinkedIn spaces, and also the account managers can fill you in, show you the demos and bits. It's really worth seeing how simple that part is, and which is the bit that underpins all of this. Just wanted to throw that in there, Alex, as I'm a big fan of showing the thing doing the amazingly simple start point as well. So just and I can't stay quiet all the way through, can I?
No, exactly. No, the good filler.
Nice.
Not that we needed much, but
no, not at all.
We're in there. So this is the document. So again, as a bit of a refresher, for invoices, for example, depending on the setting that you've got for the OCR engine, it will remember the history of basically the range from the minimum to maximum views. So these 3 fields are in orange because these are out of the historical norm. If I then say, I just want to check that they're okay, for example, yeah, that's all fine, that's easy. So they're all fine. So AIDA will now update their historical range such that if we get another invoice with these values, it will they will appear in green. So I'm going to validate the documents. Again, refresher, if you wanted to automate this document type, so there's no manual validation, if all of the fields are green, you can turn that on here. And then we validate like that. And then hopefully it's gone from the analysis section here into the archive here. There it is, invoice number 5. Currently there's no payment associated with it. So I click on that document, and here in the top right, I click on AIDA Pay. There are different options here. So here are all payment methods. Again, in my Sandbox account, you won't see all of them, but that one enables a direct bank transfer. So it asks you for your for the IBAN, I believe, in there somewhere should be. This one is direct debit, so you can set up direct debit by this way, so the payments are automatically collected once the invoice is sent out. But for this exercise, we'll do a one-time payment. Should be in pounds, obviously. That looks right. And I'll click confirm. And then I'm going to copy the link because it's easier. I want to send an email, so I can click on send the email, and then AIDA will draft the email for me. There it is. I can obviously edit this if I want to, but that looks like a pretty good email. And I'll send the email reminder to the client. And there we go. So now if I go to tasks, so I can go directly to tasks from that view, you see I now have 2 tasks. Invoice 5, which we had before, and invoice 4. Let's go ahead. Well, firstly, I mean, if any of you have got a phone and you fancy putting it to the test, you're very welcome to scan that QR code. But effectively, what that will do, I think I copied the link for invoice 5, didn't I? So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll paste it in here. And again, yeah, limited payment types, because I'm in a Sandbox account. The appropriate payment types will be shown here, depending on where you are in the world, what options you have, and what device you're using. So if you had scanned that QR code with your Apple phone, you would have seen Apple Pay, Apple phone. Daddy,
I was tempted to pay it. I'm not gonna.
Go on.
You actually have a question, Alex, from Jack. With regards to the DD facility, can you schedule the collection date? I'm guessing so.
Good question. I'll note that down and get back to you. Yeah.
Solid answer.
Yeah. So here we go. I'm going to pay by card. So so this is, yeah, a Sandbox account, so don't try and nick my credit card details, because that won't get you anyway.
It's the only reason I was recording it.
All right. There we are. And then I think I'll be in the UK. Let's do that. It wants one of those. It's been Bristol. And then let's pay it. There we go. Payment successful. There we go. So now, with any luck, if I go to, yeah, so I then come back to AIDA and it confirms that that has been paid. I might want to show me. Okay, so there's the payment be made. Now, if I, so a number of things, if I go into that document now, it says payment successful. If I go into that document now, I can look in again, refresher, history. I can see that that's, yeah, payment created is there, and the payment, the details of the payment made and the timing of it is all in there. If I go to tasks, I can see that the invoice 5, which I've just paid, that task is now gone. but I still have that outstanding payment. And if I go into the dashboard here, you can see it was on 40 something thousand. It's now on 50,000, and equally on Stripe, that number will have increased as well. For the Eagle Eyes, there's a slight difference between what's in Stripe and what's in AIDA, and that's because I've deleted some of the invoices that I had paid in my archive in AIDA. So there's a bit disparity, but if you don't do that, obviously the numbers between Stripe and AIDA will match up. Oh, blimey, only 5 minutes to go. Is that right, then?
Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
That's, isn't it? Yeah. I think I've covered pretty much everything that I wanted to. Oh, yes, sorry. One last thing, which I'm sure you're all wanting to know about, is the commercials behind, sorry, wrong one, behind AIDA Pay, which you can find here at the bottom. So effectively, again, so we AIDA try and keep our payment model or pricing model as simple as possible. It's all based on pages. So what we effectively do is convert a certain amount of pages for your AIDA Pay usage, and it's based on the amounts that you're processing. So you can see here how we apply that. So you're effectively paying us for the automation side of things, and you're paying Stripe for the payment processing, because again, that's not something that we want to get involved in, and those are the typical prices that Stripe charge, but it all depends on the exact account you are. It also depends on country as well, I believe, as well. So worth checking. But in essence, those are the two elements of the pricing of AIDA Pay. There we go. I might be done, Damien.
You're ahead of schedule, mate. It's cool, isn't it? Again, typically AIDA style. It's kind of simple, really, to organize it. It's you could follow the video, you could follow the demo you just did, really, and work out how to set most of it up. I quite like the fact that, well, I don't quite like. I do like the fact that it's there's no complex bolt on from AIDA. It's actually a function which is coming off of your primary subscription kind of model as well, which sticks to that thing as we were discussing at the event last week. It's the simplest price file. It just is, just how many pages do you need a year to manage whatever's going on in AIDA. So yeah, really nice, man. I was very quiet through that simply because I was actually really interested to see it. It's the first time I've seen an end-to-end AIDA Pay demo. As you know, I've been kind of staying remote from that until today, so I'm going to go and have a bit of a play. I will confess to having AIDA on the side there. I was actually poking stuff whilst you were doing it because I can't not. But there are any questions, guys? Everyone's being extremely quiet. There's a good few people on the call this morning as well, which is nice. So Lance is asking, what is the reason for AIDA Pay? Many small businesses are using Xero, QuickBooks, or Sage. We should cover this, or do they just generate the invoice and not handle the payment? So I would actually suggest that the latter, given that you could quite merrily fire data in or out of other AP solutions. But I'm interested, do you have a view on that question, Alex? Because I don't know that Xero or Sage 1 certainly would create that kind of closed loop payment thing. Any thoughts, Alex? Sorry.
Yeah, well, without knowing Xero or Sage particularly well, it's really that kind of use case. So going back to the school that we use, it's just about productivity in terms of accounts receivable, kind of automating as much as that as possible, and improvement of cash flow. Those are the two key benefits of doing it. As I say, a bit more of a B2C solution given what it is for the moment, but yeah, it's likely that will change in the future. Yeah,
let's not forget a load of our customers actually sell stuff to consumers, so that's actually kind of helpful. And even if you were to use this in departmental or light project stuff, I mean, I'm kind of thinking about engagements I've had with schools and the parent pay platform and things like that, which is extremely expensive and doesn't offer such a nice experience as that one does. So Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see where you'd actually use that. In it's certainly, I mean, a place that dawned on me. I was just looking back to one of our case studies, is actually around civil engineering, and allowing kind of contractors to use tool hire and bits and pieces actually on the fly. So we've definitely had use cases that would have been, you know, super useful for.
And yeah, and it does more than a Xero and a Sage. Xero and Sage obviously do massive things, and they have the, you know, the price point to kind of match it. If the use case, the kind of use case we're talking about, you know, is a good fit, you know, the price point is for
An
AIDA.
interesting thing around the likes of Xero, Sage, and everything else is that invariably your approvers and the people you want to manage these departmental costs and things like that aren't necessarily in accounts. And there's an awful lot of reticence in businesses, I think, to allow their users into what is effectively the banking area of the business. And permissions within Xero and Sage are actually really quite complex. It's quite hard to allow a user to any functionality without allowing them quite a lot of sight into stuff. So which, by the way, that's the thing in Selectec. There's a lot of process that we do externally to our Xero implementation for simply that reason. It doesn't offer us the right kind of interaction with our users that we'd actually like. There's a very different thing between allowing people to interact with processes and interact with an accounts application. So there we go. We have another question. Can we also have card payment terminals linked up? I don't know the answer to that, but I would imagine that you're into the Stripe world at that point, Alex, because again, you're using that infrastructure, right?
Don't know. Noted. We'll get back to you on that one as well.
Again, solid answer. But you, like I say, you're on the back of a well-known payment provider, so I'm guessing all of the benefits of that payment provider, you've gone out and picked a good one that you can do most things with, right? So yeah.
I would hope so. Yeah.
There we go. All right. Well, that is almost, well, apart from 1 minute, the end of the session. Are there any other questions from the crowd? If not, those calls, guys, if you don't have an AIDA NFR, get one, because you really want to play with this thing. It's one of the, you know, you really can play with it, work it out and learn a lot. Get hold of a Selectec account manager. They will help you through that process.